everybody, I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Pete's here, Gary's here, you're here. I probably shouldn't be here. I had to go, I don't know, you make an appointment with the doctor and I just didn't put two and two together. And the eye doctor today decided that it would be the right time to do some laser surgery. And I look out here and I've got some lights here, and it becomes very light sensitive with the drops they put in your eyes. But ultimately I don't need to see to talk. I just need my hands. Congratulations to the Socceroos for getting so far and so well. And just remember, there's no disgrace in a triumph. You had a bloody good run, and we're proud of you and everyone who got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to support you. And the Adelaide Thunderbirds, champions yet again, congratulations. I know little about sport, don't pretend to, but I think that's good Australian nationalism. Happy 250th birthday to the great United States of America. And the wonderful Mel Brooks, who, not 250, but he turned 100. You know, he did Blazing Saddles and The Producers and Young Frankenstein, 12 Chairs, the most wonderful, crazy movies that he made in his life. He's still going. I don't know if he's still working, but gee, happy birthday, Mel Brooks. How stupid can you get? The PM, I guess, wants to appeal to the boys, wants to be one of the boys. Well, on a podcast, which I've never heard of before, filmed at the lodge, how they got in there, I don't know. I mean, wouldn't the Prime Minister have people who would vet these people? Anyway, he admits on camera that he'd like to shag Kylie Minogue, and that he bonks his wife when his football team wins.
I saw it.
Yeah, really?
I fell out the chair.
How classy, how very classy. This is the Prime Minister of Australia. What incredible judgment, sir. I would imagine that this is going to go round the world. Good for the Yobbo vote and the Bogan vote. I don't know how good it is for you, sir. Anyway, I think we'll all know, if we don't know now, we will soon, that the Labor Party has a very thick hide. They have the incredible ability to look down the barrel of a camera and call black white, up becomes down, right becomes wrong, night becomes day. They've just perfected the business of having a very thick hide. So they just lie. The latest one is Chris Bowen, who's blaming the previous government. God, how long ago was that? Blaming the previous government for the high cost of electricity. Unbelievable. The report put out by the regulator points out in black and white the shocking truth. Electricity prices have gone up $22.7 billion since Labor came to power. I don't know how $275, which they promised us we'd get as a discount on our electricity bill, would factor into that. Good God. And they somehow believe that we're going to swallow the fact that they didn't cause the explosion in electricity costs. We all know why electricity prices are so high. It's because of their net zero crap and their renewables policy, which has been demonstrated to not be cheaper, but vastly, $23 billion vastly, more expensive. I think it's just incredible. Did they get away with it? Well, I don't think they will, but what do you think? Call me on Friday. Our sponsors are Rossdale Homes, fine South Australian family-owned company, famous for their fixed price guarantee. You get no nasty surprises. You can be a first-time builder or a very experienced builder, but nobody likes extra scary costs chucked in, usually at the last moment. Rossdale Homes, when trust is a must. Remember, with that fixed price contract, only you can change the price. Peace of mind's a good thing to have. So's Rossdale Homes, on your side.com.au. Rossdale Homes. One Nation said on the weekend that it will scrap the Office of Multicultural Affairs. Wow, damn right. I wonder what they do, what they've achieved. How much does it cost to run the Office of Multicultural Affairs? How many other countries in the world would have an Office of Multicultural Affairs? We should be taking care of our own culture, as most countries do, not other people's culture. We don't want to promote other people's cultures, do we? That makes no sense to me. The Federal Minister for Multiculturalism should go as well, obviously. That would save a bit. I wonder what the whole department costs. How many staff? And speaking of such things, the Prime Minister will be in Fiji this week, flying on to Samoa tomorrow, meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Thursday. Well, it's sort of the winter recess is on, Parliament is in recess, the government wants to reinforce Australia's presence in the South Pacific, all well and good. Sitiveni Rabuka is the Fijian Prime Minister. He's an interesting fellow. Going back to the early 90s, he was a military man. I used to call him a strong man. Well, he was. Huge man. He instigated two, not one, but two coups in Fiji, which threw out the democratically elected governments because on racial grounds the Fijians did not like the idea that the Indians and the Chinese were running their country. So they decided, I can't say democratically, but they decided the best way to deal with the situation on racial grounds was to make sure that the Indians and the Chinese could never run the country again or own land. Now that sounds a bit like racial discrimination to me, but the Fijians didn't care. They just didn't want to lose their country. Quite reasonable. I wonder if Anthony Albanese lectured the Prime Minister, Sitiveni Rabuka, on the benefits and the advantages of multiculturalism and the evils of racial discrimination. Just asking. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall if he did. Oh boy. Tony Abbott in London recently delivered a very powerful speech, knowing full well that it would find its way back to Australia, and of course the ABC, who would exploit it as an anti-immigration, anti-multicultural speech. He suggested that the current policy of mass migration was put together to extinguish Australia's Celtic Anglo-Saxon heritage. Well, I would say that he's perfectly right. I would also say that it has already happened in some parts of Australia. All you've got to do is to go to Lakemba or Auburn or Lidcombe, have a little look at multiculturalism in full flight, which in fact is an example of monoculturalism. There's only one culture there, and it's not ours. Well, it's certainly not mine. It's not immigration and it's not multiculturalism that's wrong. It is that immigration is best from like-minded countries with similar cultural backgrounds. That only makes sense. And they have to come in numbers as to be sustainable. That does not make the Liberal Party or One Nation anti-multicultural or anti-immigration. It just makes them pro-Australian, which I hope we all are. If a political party puts anything else in place, we should demand an explanation. just exactly what it is that they're trying to achieve, apart from extinguishing our Celtic Anglo-Saxon heritage. And if that is their raison d'etre, maybe, Prime Minister, you could explain why. It really looks like this government is running a protection racket. You all right, Pete?
Sorry.
Don't worry, it's all right. We don't have a cough switch or a dump switch or anything like that here.
Went down the wrong way.
Have a glass of red, it'll fix it. As I was saying, the government is running a protection racket, or we could be forgiven for thinking so, for the gambling industry. Just like it is maybe running a protection racket for the trade union movement. There is no earthly reason why the House should not be in total unanimous agreement that gambling should not be promoted or advertised in the media, any media at all. There should be no debate on that. It's gone back to the Senate for a 6-week or 8-week debate. What is there to debate? I'm not saying ban gambling. You couldn't do that in Australia. But the damage that is done by gambling is enormous. And here we have a government that is facilitating harm instead of minimising it. And it has had the opportunity for 3 years to do something and it's done nothing. The government and the Prime Minister would be under great pressure from the gambling industry, I know that, and from the media. They both want the money. Always follow the money. The lobbying would be furious. The government, no government, can afford to be seen to be in the pocket of anyone. No vested interest, let alone an industry as pernicious as the gambling industry. I'm not suggesting that we do anything but ban the advertising and promotion of gambling in all its forms. Is there a reasonable person out there who would not agree with that? If there is, I'd like you to call me on Friday and tell me. Have I got time for the dates, Pete?
Oh, yes.
We do have on Thursday, I mentioned it last week, that interesting video of a demonstration that occurred in Adelaide. What was the date, Pete? It was in June?
26th of June.
26th of June.
Ashura.
Well, it was the Shia Muslim religion.
The martyrdom of, I think, the grandson of Muhammad.
Hussein.
I don't know what he's
I'm not sure either, but it's a most interesting demonstration that failed to make any of the news broadcasts in this city, or to my knowledge any other city. Be interesting to have a look at that. July the 7th. Happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary. 1550, the traditional date that chocolate was thought to have been introduced to Europe. Chocolate. Happy birthday to chocolate. 1550. 17th July. Sliced bread sold for the first time by the Chillicothe Baking Company in Missouri, using a machine invented by Otto Frederick Rothweder, described as the greatest forward step in baking history. Well, it actually says here, since bread was wrapped. I would have thought that it would have been sliced before it was wrapped. Anyway, we're going back to 1928, the year. It was on his birthday, by the way, Otto's birthday. Yeah. Otto Frederick Rothweder, American engineer, inventor of the bread slicing machine, born in Iowa on this day in 1880. And his machine was patented 1928. Ringo Starr, British drummer, vocalist, The Beatles, Yellow Submarine, Photograph, good song, Photograph. Actor in The Caveman, not perhaps his wisest decision to do that. Peace and love activist, Knight of the Realm, born in Liverpool. That was in 1940. NASA beams Ringo Starr's voice wishing peace and love across the universe via the Deep Space Network to honour his 83rd birthday on this day in 2023. Imagine that.
We're going to put you in the movies.
We're going to put you in the movies. Well, yeah, he put him in space. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, British author who brought Sherlock Holmes to life twice, died at 71, 1930. I got some lovely stories about Sir Arthur Conan Doyle one day, I'll tell you. Alleged and disputed Roswell UFO incident, this day, 1947. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Billy Odie, English actor, comedian and ornithologist from the Goodies, born 1941. Henri Nestle, German-Swiss industrialist, founder of Nestle's. Well, we used to call it Nestle's. It was Nestlé, wasn't it?
Well, it's Nestle now.
Nestlé now. Well, it was Nestle's before. Yeah, goes to show you. Wind me up, Pete, when you think I have to.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Henri, happy birthday. He died of a heart attack. Oh, I see. He died of a heart attack at 75 on this day in 1890, not his birthday exactly. Otis Redding records the song Respect at Stax Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. It later becomes the signature song for Aretha Franklin. He records it this day in 1965. Alan Lane, the English publisher, founder of Penguin Books. He dies at 67. His idea was to produce books, paperbacks, that were cheap enough for everybody to be able to afford. What else? Oh, there are so many interesting dates. The Spy Who Loved Me, the 10th James Bond movie starring Roger Moore and Barbara Bach, premieres in London in 1977. The Three Tenors, with Placido Domingo, Jose Carreras, and Luciano Pavarotti in Rome. The recording becomes the world's best-selling classic record this day in 1990. Thank you very much for being with us. Very grateful that you joined us. Please do again here in the garage, on Facebook and wherever Andy Martin posts us on various platforms around the place. We'll see you on Thursday morning. The posting Pete puts up at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Then again, we'll join you on Friday around the dining room table live streaming, jeremycordeaux.com. And you can call us and have your say about what you will. Believe in yourself and thank you for viewing The Court of Public Opinion.